Okay, so what we have here is a MacBook Pro. It's a 13-inch, like really old one. It's Core i7, really old. Anyways, so I'm gonna do some modification to it, and just gonna share with you guys what I plan to do with it. I've already taken it apart. Already taken out the DVD drive, and I replaced it with a solid state. Upgraded the RAM, you know, everything that I can. Basically, it's like 16 gigs of RAM and stuff. I've unplugged. I've taken out the speakers and the Wi-Fi card and everything. And I'm planning on just extending these cables so that the monitor would actually come off, like it wouldn't be attached to the base of the computer. And then here's a big thing. So with a battery, I'm gonna make it last like 10 days, or at least 10 days. So basically, this is a MacBook Pro 13-inch battery, and as we can see, this one is almost dead, or yeah, it's actually dead. So when you plug this in, when you plug in your power cord, starts charging the battery, right? Okay, I didn't do it correctly with one hand. So it starts charging, and you're gonna see your battery start flashing. And they're actually pretty compatible. Like, even though to Mac, most of them are like giving you only 6 hours of battery life, but you can actually upgrade to like a bigger battery. It's just that the case won't hold it. So here we have a 15-inch MacBook Pro battery, and as you can see, the power cord actually goes in. So here we go. Alright, it's actually really hard to do this with one hand. So there we go. And when you plug that in and you put in the power cord, it's supposed to be a lot easier than this. Okay, it charges, and we check the battery status. Yeah, everything works. So basically, as long as you have this cord, it doesn't really matter what size of battery you use. It could be an external one. Knowing this, this is how I'm gonna make it last 10 days. I'm actually gonna make like a super huge battery bank, but here we go. So I'm taking this off. This is a 15-inch battery bank. This is another 15-inch battery bank. So battery bank from a 15-inch MacBook Pro computer. I've already taken it apart. Basically, it's a very simple control board with this cable that will connect to the MacBook Pro, and it's just 6 LiPo cells. Now, my original plan is to replace each and every one of these with my own power brick. And this is what a power brick is. It's basically, it's actually really big. It's about like half the size of the MacBook Pro, and it's quite thick as well. Made out of 2 conduit boxes on the cheap, you know. And every one of them has like 16 LiPo cells inside, so it's like well over 30,000 milliamps of power. And well, I got 6 of them, right? Well, initially I made 6 of them, but actually all I need is 3 of them to power up this MacBook Pro, because this is 3S battery. All of these batteries, they're actually bundled in series. I just got to figure out the positive and negative, wire some extension wires, feed it through the optic cable port, and then have them connect to the battery bank, and it'll work, right? And instead of making only 3, I made 6. So that's supposed to make the computer last 10 days. And what's that good for? Well, I'm gonna put it inside of my car and be like my car computer, so I'm gonna need it to last really long. On top of the fact that I will actually be using this computer to be constantly charging whenever I'm home, and my car is in the garage. I'll just put an extension cord and have this computer charge my battery banks. I'll make more and more of these as long as I wire them into the 3S series, and I make sure before I wire them up together that they have pretty much the same voltage. Otherwise, there's going to be so much power flowing from one cell to another cell, or one bank to another bank, that it's going to melt the wire. Of course, all of these batteries have, like, I made them with fuses, so they're going to blow the fuse instead of melting the wire. But still, I don't want that to happen because it takes me a long time to make one of these battery banks. I call them the Energon cubes, I would like to, but pretty much there's a power brick out of LiPo cells. And I'm going to show you the kind of LiPo cells that I use in a different video. I'm actually going to make a tutorial video of how to make one of these. I actually have an Instructable on making a 4S, 4P battery bank like these. That plugs directly into pretty much any 12 volt accessory device. But these are actually not 4S, 4P. These are just, these are like 1S, 16P. So you got 16 cells in parallel and just one big battery out of this. I also use this on my cell phone. I actually made an adapter so that it kind of goes directly into the cell phone. And you know, even with a power hungry cell phone like the Samsung Note 3, I can run my cell phone pretty much for like 3 days just off of this, and that's with constant using. If you're going for like an iPhone and stuff, of course, taking apart an iPhone is a lot more complicated. I've done it before, but I think you can pretty much get a week out of it, and it's actually easier to charge your battery by a lot. And I made an extension cord where I can have this in my backpack and the wire goes into my phone. It's kind of weird, but it's actually really cool. All right, so peace out.